We're coming into LA. The Dodgers aren't as hot as they were. They struggled against, they dropped the series against the Royals. So maybe it's just a good time because the Dodgers are a good team. And it's not like the Dodgers before, too. They have their people.
Yeah, so the Dodgers go into the series, like you mentioned, 2-game skid against the Royals. They are 46-37, 3 games back of the first place Diamondbacks, who we will see following the Dodgers. Yeah, 4-game series on the West Coast there. It's just you know what though, something about the Dodgers just these past few years, I feel like the team just gets amped up for them. Like earlier in the year, team got amped up. Last year, team got amped up. So I'm expecting the team to come out and give a fight to these guys. It's just I don't. It's just something about them. They've played them really really tough the past few years. And then you look at the pitchers. They miss. I guess is Kershaw going tonight?
It's all TBDs, but I assume because Kershaw last pitched Tuesday, the 27th.
Yeah, so I would imagine Kershaw's probably going to go tonight, I would guess. And then we get to see the sensation Emmett Sheehan in Game 2. Then we've got another
Bobby Moe,
Louisville starting pitcher. We didn't do too well against the last one, Brian Hoeing. He no-hit us through 5. Bobby Miller. And then Julio Urias. So some tough pitching matchups, which you're always going to see against the Dodgers. They've got a really, really good rotation there. Tonight Kershaw versus if tonight is Kershaw versus Keller, that's must-see TV right there. I'm
excited about that.
That's actually a fun game.
Kershaw that gets the guy too. Like you just feel such a great career. And it's like, oh, these injuries and this, like he's gonna fall off this year. And then he's just like, no, I don't. My ERA doesn't touch 3s ever. I'm a stud, and that's what he's doing. Kershaw is a beast. We know that. But yeah, the way that Keller's been pitching this year, Keller versus Kershaw, it's a great matchup. And like you saying about the Dodgers, series and them being amped up, like they have, like surprisingly. So it's going to be a late night Bucco series. Things are going to get weird, I'm sure. And here's another thing to think of, Jim. Think of last year. Think of, Bednar in that series, how big he was. And now he's an all-star snub. You might be kind of pissed off. You've pissed off David Bednar. Look out.
We're going to see 4 different 9-out David Bednar saves. Yes. David Bednar is going to pitch 12 innings this series.
There's an all-star break.
12 scoreless innings, yeah.
Yeah, there's an all-star break. He's not selected, so Shelton's like, we're good. You are available.
Yeah, so no, it should be fun. Again, like the Pirates starting pitching staff has kind of gone blow for blow with every other staff that we've come across so far. So I'm kind of expecting the team to. I want to see some fight this week. I said we've seen it from them. We've seen it from them in the past. It took 2 of 3 from the Dodgers earlier in the year, and when they did that, they like legitimately looked like. This was Pirates' peak, right? This was when they were, I think, 18. They won the last game of that series to go to 18-8, and the Pirates looked like the best team in baseball at this point. Like they looked better than the Dodgers. So here we are 2 months later. Roles are a little bit reversed, but
they're not the best team in baseball, Jim.
They're not the best team in baseball. No,
you're such a loser.
Yeah,
such a negative mentality.
But no, 4-game series. I expect them to come into the series with some excitement. A win tonight would be huge. Taking that first game. Let's split this at least. Let's split this series.
That's a win. That's for sure a win. Splitting it in LA against the Dodgers, that's a win for sure.
Yeah.
But
actually, let's just sweep them. Let's just sweep them.
Fair. Not asking for too much there. But like, I understand like the 2 losses. The Pirates just lost 2 in a row right to the Brewers. but I feel as if they're playing better baseball right now than they have in a while. Like, I'll at least give them that, especially offensively, but they're playing better right now than they have, and that says a lot. Granted, doesn't mean a whole lot because they're still not a great team. We understand that. Now, if Indy comes up, maybe that does change some things. But what I'm saying is, like, I guess right now for playing the Dodgers in a 4-game series in LA, with all the things you talked about, is they've actually looked much better. Right. The offense has definitely come alive. The pitching has been suspect for sure. But again, Mitch Keller tonight's a big win, right? If he can go 7 innings, hell, maybe even 8 tonight, that goes a long way with David Bednar being available and such. Colin Holderman's back. Like, there's some reserves coming back and helping out this bullpen that's been very, very depleted as long as Shelton decides to use them. So it's asking for a lot still to tie the series up, but it certainly can happen. And again, like, tonight's probably the biggest thing. If Mitch Keller can put it through and they can lose to Kershaw, I think it happens.
Yeah.
Vito's getting the second win.
I will say this, like, what they need to actually hit these starting pitchers. I feel like that's kind of been the MO the last week or so. The Pirates are doing some damage offensively, but
very true.
They're waiting a long time to do that. The starting pitchers have kind of been a problem for the Pirates here in the last 2 weeks, and then they're doing their damage against the bullpen. Against the Dodgers, you're going to have to do some damage against the starting pitchers because the bullpen's pretty damn good. They got some good arms out there. So, like, the starters are good for the Dodgers, but that's kind of, I mean, you have Sheehan, who is young and he's only had, a handful of starts under his belt. Bobby Miller, obviously the stuff is great. He's probably going to be a really good pitcher, but he's also still very, new, young. He's a rookie, not a whole lot of innings under his belt either. So if you can get to those two guys, you gotta do it. And I feel like Urias is someone who Pirates have actually hit pretty well, in recent memory. So yeah, we'll see how they do. Tonight's going to be the tough one. If Kershaw's going tonight, that's going to be tough. But yeah, we're still TBD. I'm not sure what the Dodgers are waiting on there.
Yeah, neither am I. But I'm with you in, like, you have a good point. The Pirates,
Kershaw's shoulder is hurt. That's the latest update. He could possibly go on the IL today.
Oh, well then. It might not be must-see TV because it's going to be a bloodbath.
That changes some things.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I guess, again, with the Pirates offense, it has come alive, but certainly you're right. Like, this team can't have a perfect game through 5 and then decide to score 6 runs. I mean, I guess they could, but, like, that can't be the mentality. Don't get perfect gamed against in 5 innings. Have some fight in the first 5, like with these starters. Yeah, that has been their issue here. I guess the other thing to point out too, like I mentioned, the last time they did play the Dodgers, there were some injuries. They didn't have, like, they were at their peak optimal lineup. They're back and they're good. I mean, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, all having dominant seasons. Outman has cooled off. I'll say that at least. Outman is not like MVP caliber player anymore. He's come back to earth. I think rookie of the year considerations is pretty much all but gone now.
Yeah, he's done.
But yeah, this offense is producing right now. They're hot and they're good. And we know how you look about your Will Smith.
You look at the lineup and, like, 1 through 7 on this team is playing well. Even Jason Hayward is having, like, the best season of his career at the plate. It's wild.
A 127 weighted runs created plus for Jason Hayward, who's, like,
I feel like he hasn't done that since. He hasn't done that since, like, his Braves days, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, crazy stuff. They get rid of Cody Bellinger, and they get Jason Hayward, and all of a sudden Jason Hayward becomes Cody Bellinger.
And what's funny is Cody Bellinger is having, like, good season too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they get Jason Hayward, and it's like, all right. He's having a Cody Bellinger type season, like a 1.5 WAR already. The guy's pretty much on pace for almost like a 3 WAR season, Jason Hayward, and that's with the bat.
But between, like, Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts are both playing at, like, MVP caliber right now. That's that's your really really tough part of the lineup, and then you add in Will Smith, who probably will play 3 out of these 4 games. He's
Mind
also
you,
just rushing the ball.
Mind you, second base and shortstop Mookie Betts.
Yeah, seriously,
because that's a thing this year too.
Yeah. So let's see. You know what though? You know what? I'm kind of excited. This is 3 big Louisville players on display this week. DiNardo, Henry Davis, Will Smith, Bobby Miller. I love it. It's a Louisville showcase.
They're gonna call up rushing for you this weekend too.
Yeah, call up Dalton rushing. Yeah.
Oh man, now we're talking Louisville. We got to get out of here. But no, for real, it's certainly a tough matchup, and it doesn't get any easier, right? Like you mentioned, and then they play the actual first place team with the Diamondbacks upcoming. But I think obviously the Dodgers are the one you fear the most, and they're on all cylinders for the most part, unless Kershaw doesn't start tonight. So I guess stay tuned for that. But even without Kershaw, certainly a tough 4-game stretch coming up. So let's find out what happens. It's the Pirates. I think expectations are starting to deplete, unfortunately. So let's just play some good baseball, and maybe we can get see this team get back into the hunt and do some damage. We'll see.
Yeah, should be a fun week. They're all late. I mean, mostly late games. 10 p.m., 9 10 p.m., 10 p.m., 10 p.m. So
let's get weird.
We'll have some late night post game shows this week. But we will be here for you after every game.
And some really good banter and conversation in the NS9 Discord. So go ahead and check that out and join. We do have some things coming up.
You all, thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.